biology journals, sounding a little crow. And that's mostly because I think there's an awful we have some weird gadget going to revolutionise the way IV have iTunes for research tweeting, and of course app. I think in amongst all this kind of about what we're doing as publishers and why principles of what you sure any sense about how people are going to access what devices are going to be around. I don't know anything. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to pause. Which is in 2009, Society for Molecular Biology and Evolution. We already published there. I put there's nothing particularly new, but this project we taught us a lesson about looking at things to do. That lesson is talk to the community, because they are the one, and then give them. Don't throw a load of stuff into there and hope that. So the ISMB, they had an overwhelming response, and it was overwhelmingly positive. So we watched the journal, and we're very happy with it. Talking to the community is something which across our publishing. So at the moment, we're several focus groups and sort of disciplines at various levels of seniority. What people are using, what they're not using, make lives easier. And I'd be very, very interested in having made focus right here. And in amongst all of us research is that a lot of people are reading them and have a chance. So they've still got stack paper. Telling us that the generation of scientists that are undergraduate are people who are going to these new technologies that we're on. But I think it's all about age and generation. People will adopt it and they will use it to make their lives easier, no matter today, just because people are already on Facebook for journals and it's iTunes. I do think if a tool people will use it. Mum keeps asking me whether she's on Facebook. I'm desperately trying. The thing I talked about is Dryad. Has anybody in the room heard of Dryad? Okay, very few. Okay, it's an organisation which is trying to become the data repository in life sciences. So they started off in evolution, and they have buy-in of a couple of evolution journals. Now they're broadening their scope to include all life sciences, and eventually they want to be the data repository for science, full stop. So they are nothing if not ambitious. They have an attitude of perfection is the enemy of the good. So they're not looking for a perfect system, but they are looking for something that is good enough to get this off the ground and to start becoming a data repository that is actually functional and useful. So they've had to do this. Obviously, they've had to get the buy-in from journal editors, journal societies, and publishers. So I think the lesson from this project is collaboration, and this is the second big thing that I think is very important. They've had to keep everybody happy in this project, people with different agendas and different objectives, get the buy-in from all those different people to try and produce something that is going to be beneficial for the entire community. And I'm just going to go on a couple of tangents here. PLOS Currents Influenza has already been mentioned. And as Theo said, it's a rapid research publication site bringing together lots of information about influenza. So it's intended to be a public health resource. But while we're talking about these kind of collections of material, and actually what Theo was talking about with the PLOS hubs, wouldn't it be a better resource if we could do this across all of the content that we publish, across all publishers and all journals? I know that sounds like a lot of information, but if we had some clever way of sorting it, wouldn't that be better than just making it pub-specific? and the iPhone. Who in the room has an iPhone? More people than knew about Dryad. Okay, well, I'm not a member of the iPhone club, but apps are becoming more and more important. But are researchers really going to want a different app for every journal they look at, or even for every different publisher whose journals they read? I don't think so. I think the way this is going is that people want one tool that can pull all the information that they want from different areas and present it to them in a useful way. Now, I know we have Google, which does that already, but you still have to click through to find what you're looking at. And with PubMed, you have the abstract through to the full text. Wouldn't it be better if we had something that would work across all formats, all platforms and publishers, and bring things together? Now, it might be that publishers aren't able to collaborate on something like this, but perhaps we could get a third party, as Dryad has done, to bring us together to do this. And the third and final thing is the Cecil pilot project, which is a semantic enrichment and text mining project. It's spearheaded by the European Bioinformatics Institute, and they have several publishers on board, including OUP. And the project is being funded by a not-for-profit alliance of pharma companies, if you can believe that such a thing exists. So again, they're having to keep lots of people happy. They're having to balance the interests and objectives of all these different groups of people. So this is just to hammer home my point about collaboration. I think if we're going to survive as publishers in the future, which is a very unpredictable future, then we need to keep talking to the community, and we need to keep talking to each other. So we need to find out what the community wants so that we can deliver it to them. And if we work together, perhaps we can find a better way of delivering it to them than if we're just all trying to hit the same nail. And I think as publishers, we can't drive the future, we can't invent it and decide how it's going to go. But I think if we follow these two principles of talking to the community and collaborating together, then we can enable it to happen. And that's it.
Next speaker is Richard Burley from Wiley.
Oh, there you go.